In this episode, we are going to be talking about a real life story, a case study, a factual situation where we have helped a landlord who is in a real sticky situation. And this story is an example to other landlords who may be in this situation, with a view to show you that there's hope, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and most importantly, you can be helped. So we had a landlord in Camden, North London, who's managing their own rental property. So they have 5 tenants living under one roof, no HMO license, and 2 tenants had stopped paying altogether. And the property, it was falling into disrepair fast. The landlord was overwhelmed, losing money, and watching their asset spiral out of control. That's when they reached out to us. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we took this property from chaos to guaranteed hands-off income. And most importantly, if you're facing something similar, this is just a means for you to reach out to us and see how we can help you. So let me walk you through what we found. So we found, when we were invited to this property, we found 5 tenants, all on separate agreements, and there was no HMO license. There was no compliance in place, meaning that these tenants were potentially liable for rent repayment orders had they gone down that route. 2 of the tenants were in rent arrears. The others, they weren't taking care of the property. Repairs were being ignored, and the landlord was stuck in the middle. There was no letting agent, no backup, just stress constantly. And, you know, where compliance is changing so fast, council regulations are coming in, often he was way behind where he needed to be in terms of compliance and all of the documentation in terms of certificates, etc., etc. So he's really setting himself up for a ticking time bomb. So now we're going to talk about how we stepped in. So before we even signed the lease, we stepped in and we took on full tenant liaison. So that's on behalf of the landlord at no charge. So that meant that before we started to get paid, before we started, renting out the property in our own way, we took control of the situation by speaking to each tenant. And we negotiated tenancy surrenders and successfully wound down every single bad tenancy. Now, luckily, this did not involve going to court, going through the eviction process. We did not have to do that. The next step was we got the property compliant. So that involved getting the doors done, the smoke alarms, fire safety certificates, fire doors, etc. And effectively, we even supported the landlord in applying for a HMO license. And again, we did all of these at no charge. Now, once the property was ready, we signed it under our company let agreement. So this is where we became the tenant, and the landlord has been receiving guaranteed rent ever since. No more rent chasing, no more stress, no more headache. And best of all, we take care of all minor maintenance too. So what's the lesson for this? What's the big takeaway? Look, you don't have to go through this alone. If you're a landlord and you feel like this landlord journey is becoming overwhelming for you, we have a system, we have experience, and we know how to turn around tough situations. This Camden landlord didn't just find a letting solution, they found a partner, someone to step in, sort it, and deliver a steady income month after month. So if your property feels like it's becoming a burden, don't wait. Get in touch, reach out to us. There's no cost in having a chat. Irrelevant of where your property is, whether it's in London or outside, we may be able to work out a solution for you. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.